I do fantasy football.
It's my quarterback. If you guys do that, man, it's unfair.
How's your fantasy team looking this year?
I won $1 million.
Come after me! I'm a man! I'm 40!
Hey, this is Rory Scovel, and you're listening to My Fantasy Wife on your speakers or your headphones.
My Fantasy Wife Podcast.
Style is impetuous. My defense is impregnable.
Blair.
I watched 40 minutes of Space Jam this weekend. It's 40 minutes of my life. I'm not going to get back.
Put that in your pipe and smoke.
Gary.
They had already announced he was leaving. He just didn't want to wait out the 30. You know, when you quit a job, you got to give him 30 days or whatever.
2 weeks. You've never had a real job, have you?
No.
He is the man in the fantasy world.
Drew.
You're not a Peyton Manning fan,
I'm not a Manning fan.
You can't be serious, man. You cannot be serious!
Lewis.
You love Burger King.
Yeah, I like Burger King.
Yeah.
Not the game. We're talking about practice, man.
You're listening to My Fantasy Wife Podcast. www.myfantasywife.com.
Welcome, listeners, to My Fantasy Wife, the weekly sports meets comedy meets marriage podcast, where a husband and wife discuss sports,
That's me.
fantasy leagues, and their impact on pop culture and relationships, including their own. I'm the wife comedian Blair Postman.
Hey.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, I'm joined by my husband and sports stat expert Gary Hames.
Hi.
Hi. We're also joined by Hot Topics and social media maven, comedian Drew Harrison.
You okay there?
Doing great.
She had a sex change.
And rounding things out, sound engineer, comedian, and man about town, Mr. Louis Bishop.
Hi.
To never miss our weekly episodes, extras, and more, subscribe in iTunes, Stitcher, or YouTube. Find us on Facebook and Instagram at My Fantasy Wife Podcast, Twitter at My Fan Wife, and support the podcast by liking and rating us on iTunes. Miss any of that? Then go to our website, myfantasywife.com, with links to everything. Gary,
Yeah.
tell us about this week's sponsor.
Yeah, I will. This week's sponsor is Dead Crow Comedy Room. Dead Crow Comedy in Wilmington, North Carolina has weekly events featuring local and regional comedians, like free comedy bingo every Tuesday, hosted by our own Louis Bishop.
Shut the front door.
And it's a double feature. He's got the in-booth sidekick of Lou Morgante.
What?
Oh, man.
Two brews for the price of one.
Yeah, as well as nationally touring comics from TV and movies every weekend. Whether you're a local or visiting the Wilmington, North Carolina, or whether you're a local or visiting the Wilmington, North Carolina on your beach vacation, be sure to check them out at deadcrowcomedy.com. That's deadcrowcomedy.com.
Hey, guys.
Hey.
I've got my sexy young Kathleen Turner voice going on.
Did you have too much fun at Stone Cold Sober this weekend?
No, I had a sinus infection or something all week. Before,
Tomato. Same thing.
Before, stop working your shows into the thing.
That's Stone
Drew.
Cold Sober. It's every last Friday at Bomber.
God. And I had a sinus thing, and then became a coughing thing, and then it abused my voice. My vocal cords.
Your beautiful singing voice.
I do have I don't know about beautiful, but it's okay. It's pretty okay.
Did you wear your voice out trying to make new radio commercials for podcast.com?
No, you mean podhive.com?
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Well, I mean, it's only been the sponsor for like 80 episodes. No, I lost a little bit doing a Drew show, Stone Cold Sober.
Now, it has been.
On Friday night.
That's every last Friday on Bombers.
It was.
Bombers Beverage Company.
Okay, stop.
Check out Bombers.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear that.
Bombers Beverage Company.
I'm sorry, did you pay for that time? I didn't think so.
Did Dead Crow pay for that time?
In a manner of speaking. But the... Yeah, so I kind of lost my voice a little bit, and I had a show last night, and you know, I'm kind of.
How was your show at Moonlight Stage Company?
It was
MoonlightStageCompany.com.
Don't try to get on my good side by plugging the show on my show that has happened on the show that I put together. Okay, the
what?
I can't finish words. It's a little bit of a problem. I'm going to need some help today, guys.
You know, if we need a new sponsor, if this is getting a little old, it's almost time for Dallas Cowboy Thong to roll around again.
I may not have renewed the website ownership.
Well, then somebody else is going to make all the money.
Right.
You're still a Cowboys fan?
Still happening.
Yeah,
All right,
that winning 13 games going to the playoffs didn't dissuade me. Now.
Okay, that's good.
All right, so guys,
Good
big
for you, Gary.
Big day, lots to do. We got to get moving.
I kept my head up through all the success.
Yeah.
We get good job.
Thanks.
All right, guys. This week, episode 123. Yeah, we were off last week inadvertently because Mr. Bishop had the flu. How you doing, Mr. Bishop?
I'm doing very well.
All right, good.
Yes.
Did you wipe down all the equipment here in the studio?
No. The best way to get over something is to just immerse yourself in it. So.
Okay. I was thinking for us, but okay.
Yeah.
For this
I'm
week,
feeling fine.
episode 123, comedian and writer Ryan Connor.
All right.
And we're also going to be having Joe Perrow, our Dragon Master, on for our Game of Thrones roundup. Yeah, and then in the coming weeks, we're going to have Alicia Hush. And then also, right before the NFL kicks off, either the last August or the first September episode, we're going to have Tim Harmson and Mary Mack on. And they're going to be doing a football outlook for us. Yeah, I know. It's exciting stuff. Stuff. All right, guys. Wills is on assignment today.
What does he mean?
Oh, and next Sunday? Sharknado 5.
Sharknado 5?
8 o'clock next Sunday night.
All right.
What?
So maybe we can do a pool. Maybe we can do a fantasy league regarding Sharknado.
Doing a pool. I don't know. That's a...
Oh, funny. That wasn't even on purpose. Funny pool.
So who is in Sharknado 5? Do you know? Is it like the...
Why would it be the same people? I mean...
Here's an idea. I tell you what, let's do.
Because
questions like this keep popping up. We should get somebody to... sit in with our show, and they could check these things out on the internet in real time.
Real time?
You should get someone like that. What am I checking up?
Who's going to be in Sharknado 5, please?
God, 5 already?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
They're getting so big.
Yeah, when you don't need actors, a script, or any talent, you can churn them right out.
I completely missed 4.
Yeah.
Well,
right.
it had some sharks in a tornado.
So while you're looking that up, we got to get right in.
Hold on a second. Hold on. It is titled Sharknado 5 Global Swarming.
Nice.
It's got Dolph Lundgren in it.
Oh.
I thought he was dead.
Olivia Newton-John.
Oh, I know she's dead.
No.
And the great American comeback story, Tara Reid.
Tara Reid. Is Ian Ziering not in it?
I believe he's in it.
The Ian Ziering.
Yeah, he's in it.
Okay.
Wow.
Jenna Sims, Gilbert Gottfried, Dan Fogler, Cassandra Serbo, Cody Lindley, Chris Kattan, Charo.
Charo. The fact that Charo.
Nothing says you know it's going to be a terrifying shark movie when you hear the nasally voice of Gilbert Gottfried coming on. Wasn't he in Jaws? He was in Jaws, right?
The fact that Charo was not on any of those Super Bowl halftime shows in the first 25 years is a miracle.
It is a miracle. She was too big for him.
It also has Kathy Lee Gifford and Tony Hawk.
Oh my god!
And Fabio
Kathy Lee Gifford. Wow. I can't watch it.
And Clay Aiken.
Wow.
And Al Roker.
Jesus.
And Brett Michaels.
Oh, my God.
And Downtown Julie Brown.
Holy crap.
She's definitely dead.
And Greg Louganis.
All right.
Wow.
Well, that kind of makes sense. They should have more swimmers.
I might have to watch this just because.
I think we should have you could do a report on it.
Who's not in it?
Well, okay. So, guys.
The second best dancer on Dancing with the Stars.
I like Sharknado 3 was entitled, Oh, Hell No.
That's nice. All right, guys, we need to move on from Sharknado.
Okay.
Can I have a little change of topic music of some kind?
My fantasy wife, oh, hell no.
Dun, 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 dun.
Right. All right, guys.
Oh, was mine not good enough? Okay.
Before we get to the very deep dive we got to do into Game of Thrones and our guests.
Let's take 10 seconds to talk about sports.
Yeah, let's take a couple seconds to talk about sports. We're going to talk about sports with Ryan Connor.
Hey, we need to dust off my NFL song pretty soon.
Oh, my God. Please, focus.
I am very focused.
You're making me say focus more, and my throat is lapsing. It's almost as if you don't want me to be able to talk. Okay, guys, today the Major League Baseball Hall of Fame class induction. Drew, who's your favorite one of the inductees?
As a Braves fan, John Sherholtz is, but I was a huge Jeff Bagwell fan growing up.
What did you like most about Jeff Bagwell, who was a first baseman whose rookie season hit 15 homers?
Around the time I played on the Astros, the Little League team.
Oh, okay.
And I was the first baseman, so I just thought he was really cool, and he's got a cool stance, and he didn't do steroids at all.
Okay, that's why this list is not chock full of.
No, that's what he's catching a little flack because he's a big dude like Mark McGwire, and they're like, "How come he makes it in and we don't?"
Well, he didn't actually, have any evidence against him, I guess.
He didn't get subpoenaed to Congress and then waggle his finger in the congressman's face while saying that I don't do steroids.
Yeah.
When in fact, and then test positive for steroids.
Yeah, that's going to be part of the reason.
Props to him. He stayed off of all the lists, so good for him.
All right,
he never had to play with Jose Canseco, so that's the best thing he probably.
So nobody told on him.
Okay, right.
So Jose Canseco didn't write a book about it.
Right.
Oh.
He stayed out of the book.
All right, good. Well, what about you, Gary? Who's your favorite? So, we should say for the audience, the inductees are Jeff Bagwell, Tim Raines, Ivan Rodriguez,
Pudge Rodriguez,
John Scherholtz, and Bud Selig.
Bud Selig.
I know who that is. I just having trouble with my voice.
Okay, it's cool. I'm here to help.
Thank you.
Y'all called me out for being lazy. Y'all called me out for being lazy, so I'm here to work today.
I can't handle all this energy and enthusiasm coming from the social media man. What's the matter, Gary? Who's your favorite? Do you like
just
anyone?
Trying to reflect your new desire for energy and enthusiasm.
Okay.
He's playing the role of Drew today.
Well, now you're playing the role of Drew. Oh, gosh. Yeah. Okay, come on.
Due to illness, the role of Drew will be played by Gary.
Gary, remember when you cared about baseball?
Due to unexpected energy.
Right, the part of Drew will now be played by Gary Hams. No, who's your favorite on this list? Or do you think the list is lackluster?
I think it's a great list.
I think Ivan Rodriguez was the best catcher since Johnny Bench in the major leagues. Best catcher in the last 50 years.
I agree.
So that would be my first choice. And I think it's criminal that Tim Raines didn't get in sooner because he was probably the third best base stealer in the history. Well, fourth best base stealer in the history of Major League Baseball.
It actually says that he
played for the Expos. That's why it doesn't count.
If you look at your show summary, you'll see that he's the fifth in overall bases, but the highest in percentage of stolen bases for any player with 400-plus steals.
Yeah, he was a
Holy
fantastic.
crap, why don't you give us one of these every show?
I give you one of these every show.
This is the first time seeing this.
This is episode 123. You're going to start making a fucking synopsis now?
Oh, I do it
Good God, man.
every week.
Get your head in the game.
I could have gone to the beach this afternoon.
I'll tell you how I know you don't make these. This is the first one. Because if you made them all the time, we'd be out of ink constantly.
True.
I had to race to the store and get ink today. It's a true thing.
Well, isn't that convenient?
Yeah. So you think Tim Raines?
I think that Ivan Rodriguez at his position is probably like the third or fourth best catcher ever to play baseball, and I think but I think Tim Raines was vastly. Drew's right. He played in exile in Montreal for years, and nobody knew who he was. But he was fantastic, 5-tool, great offense, stolen bases. He was fast. He was a good defensive player. He was a good teammate. They had maybe one of the best 3-man outfields ever put together when he was there, because with him and Warren Cromartie and the other guy was National League MVP. That was one of the best outfields ever.
So
also John Scherholtz is arguably the best baseball executive in the history of the baseball. His team that he constructed won 15 consecutive division championships, which nobody's ever done before and will never do again.
Hell yeah!
So I mean, you can say a lot for him too.
It's on the show outline.
Oh, I thought he played for the Braves.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
It says executive.
No.
God, nobody pays.
If you would consult the book that Blair writes each week entitled Little Known Facts About People Mentioned on the Show, you would have known that.
Yes, exactly.
I'm trying to
look at the index.
Okay,
look at the index.
Right.
It'll tell you what page.
It's Library of Congress number 6479G.
Yeah. G is in Gary. There you go. You got it.
Oh, okay, I got it. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. All right, guys. Anything else about this Hall of Fame class? Or people who aren't in it?
No controversy here. Most years there's a lot of controversy. These are all cast iron choices. In my opinion.
I mean, and yet again, it's that time of year you got to talk about all the players that aren't in the Hall of Fame.
Right.
Well, yeah, baseball's all-time leading hits guy, all-time leading home run guy, all-time leading Cy Young winner, all not in the Hall of Fame first,
and probably won't be for a very long time.
Nope.
But you guys
it'll
think
take
they
some
will be
slack-ass millennials who don't
care. I'm not gonna lie. I think it's got to be well past their death.
I think, but
they must die
someday.
first.
All of these drugs will be legal or something, and
I don't think so.
I'd be willing to give you 5-2 that Pete Rose gets in before he dies.
Oh, I'm not. Yeah, Pete Rose for sure.
Really?
That was a gambling joke.
Oh,
I think he's gonna
I got it. Because gambling is why he's not in.
I think Pete Rose is going to get hella sick before he dies, and when he's sick, they're going to have pity on him. And
like Blair sick or like
past
sick?
Blair. Like it's going to start off as Blair sick.
Yeah.
And it's going to get worse.
Yeah. And then one year they're finally just going to be like,
probably
you know
from
what?
all the stress of making these show outlines.
It's from the exhaustion of writing the book about the show each week.
Seriously, Blair, these are fantastic. If you could get these for us every week, I would appreciate it.
Where's the Dewey
It's
Decimal
like the whole
System?
show's right in your fingertips.
Yeah,
where is it?
Yeah, the Dewey Decimal System. Where is it?
Libraries.
I know, but I'm saying for the show, I can't. Is it in a cabinet over there? Where is
That's
that
what
thing?
the index is for.
It's in Blair's car.
It's
gotcha.
alpha instead of numeric.
Oh God.
All right, guys.
Numeric.
Can I have a hot topic swish?
Swish. Y'all remember Swish?
Ah.
Oh boy.
I do remember Swish.
Oh, it's football season. Now it's officially football season.
But we're not talking about that yet.
All right.
Football.
Okay. The NBA trades. Was there anything important that's happened? I mean, it's been 2 weeks.
Everybody hates LeBron. So
well, I put in there. Do players want to be on a team with LeBron?
I have to go back to what I would do.
Explain why I'm asking this question with the guy who said he didn't want to be on the team.
Yes, there's a guy who said he didn't want to be on the team.
Kyrie Irving doesn't want to be, and I quote, LeBron James's son anymore.
Yes, as a Duke graduate, he's looking for something a little better than the average player.
I see.
He wants to be the show.
Do you think it's real, or do you think it's some sort of ploy?
Yeah, it must be hard to go to the NBA Finals every year.
Yeah.
No, but I can imagine if you were on this team and then all of a sudden you sign an extension, 11 days later LeBron shows up and now every reporter just lines up in front of his booth every night and he gets to decide who your teammates are going to be, not you. Like, I can imagine that's annoying.
Yeah, and plus he's being smart and being proactive and getting out before LeBron gets out and leaves him.
Well, sure, because LeBron
is he going to leave for sure?
I think so.
Are they going to trade him?
It's not for sure, but
they don't have
he's
to.
Still
right?
got
LeBron's not going to finish his career in Cleveland.
I will remind everybody that the Lakers came to a similar impasse where Kobe Bryant demanded a trade, wasn't going to play with Shaq anymore, and they just ignored it. He never was traded. Eventually got rid of Shaq. So, who was probably a more difficult talent to find, but he was older. And in this situation, LeBron's going to play another year. I don't know that I wouldn't keep the young kid. LeBron's got to be 12 years older than him, 10 years older than him.
At this point, I would almost rather build around Kyrie than LeBron.
Is it a negotiating tactic?
And LeBron's only under contract for one more year anyway, so he could leave after this
year.
He
already said if he does stay with Cleveland, he's only going to sign 1 year at a time contract.
Yeah,
so you really want to go through that every year?
Ditch this kid, and then LeBron could just leave. And then you don't have either of them.
Yeah.
Life is filled with impermanence.
And then you're the Cleveland Cavaliers again. With the first
but you
round
could just wear like leak-proof underwear.
No, impermanence.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Oh, that was for Lewis.
They have leak-proof underwear?
So anything else about the draft?
He's been wrapping up a newspaper around his, every week.
Oh,
but it leaks like crazy.
All right. So I can't mince words today because
that's really the only thing going on in the NBA right now.
What about the Big Three? Anyone watch that? I watched that yesterday. That was good.
No
one cares about
Big
Three. The Big Three is the 3-on-3 basketball, like the old basketball players.
I caught a few spots of that. It's interesting.
Yeah, I think it's good. It's played on half court.
Yeah. I watched it. I turned it on when I took a nap the other day.
They pack them in. Yeah, it was good. Yeah, it was good, right? During your nap? Did you enjoy it?
I did.
Yeah, it was good, right?
It's almost like turning on NASCAR.
Right. What if Kyrie Irving goes to the Big Three, huh? What about that? Hmm?
Wouldn't that be funny? It's a big star start jumping. How much do they make?
The USFL.
I'm asking myself here.
They get USFL money.
How much money does a Big Three pay?
There you go.
There you go.
See,
look who's on his game.
We should have talked about this months ago. Think of all the things we would have learned.
See, if I have the show in my hand every show, I know what to look for.
Right.
Yeah.
You see what you do? See?
I got to tell you, Blair, it was a good idea. You were so busy this week. I don't know when you had time to think of it.
Yeah, exactly. I can't imagine when. You guys are really...
making
I'm vulnerable because I can't speak very much and you're taking advantage of it.
All the guys are getting paid $100,000.
Oh, okay. A game or altogether?
All
the whole
together.
season? Oh, that's not bad.
It's now people always say, "Oh, I'd play for free if I could play professional." Well, this is fun. There's no grinding schedule. There's none of the games mean anything. $100,000 to do that really is just fun money.
Yeah.
Could I have a change of topic music and some Game of Thrones appropriate music? Because we're gonna call Joe Perrow.
You forgot to ask for the Atlanta score.
What was the Atlanta score, hon?
I haven't had a chance
Braves.
to look it up. How are we doing today?
Are we still playing the Phillies?
That's me. That's not me, really. All right, let's call Joe Perrow. Gary, will you hold this?
The Bravos are lost 2-1.
To who?
The Phillies.
Oh, they just traded half their team away yesterday, too.
Yep.
Must be low morale. Low morale.
Hello.
Hello, is this Dragon Master Joe Perrow?
You know it is.
Joe Perrow, what do you know? This is Blair Postman and team from My Fantasy
Hey, Blair.
Wife.
Hey, team.
How are you?
Great.
All right, Joe.
We're good. I think that was
Dragon
Liz.
Master.
That was Liz.
Dragon Master. So, we had to cancel last week because of illness. Mr. Bishop was ill, and so now we've got
Licensed to ill.
2 episodes.
I was just thinking that.
2 episodes of I almost said My Fantasy Wife of Game of Thrones to catch up on.
Well, you sound like you have a bit of it yourself.
I do. I have, what's that? Grayscale. I have grayscale.
Herpes.
Nope.
Same thing.
But grayscale. I've had sinus things and I've been coughing.
Do you know most people have grayscale, but they just don't know it?
Right. 2 out of 3 doctors recommend. Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
4 out of 5 doctors recommend chewing grayscale after meals.
Ew.
Grayscale.
Grayscale's the disease in Game of Thrones.
Yeah, but it helps your teeth.
Ew.
All right, sorry, go ahead.
Wait a second. If you chew on the grayscale skin, that's good for your teeth?
It's very good for your teeth.
It's good in the short term.
Yeah.
It's not good in the long term.
No, yeah.
Right.
You can't have it in there too long.
It whitens your teeth, but then you get grayscale. So,
Right.
Well, it's a trade-off.
It is a trade-off. So I have sent you a list, a summary, again, just to remind our listeners. We have House Brent, House Lewis, House Gary, House Blair, and House Drew. And Joe Perrow is our Dragon Master. The 4 automatic point categories are if one of your drafted characters kills a known or drafted character, you get 1 point. If exit bonus for dying memorably, 2 points. Sex with known or drafted character, 1 point. Win a war or a major battle, 2 points. And then awesome points, as we've done the last 2 years, are decided by Joe Perrow. So, Joe, is there a certain place that you feel like we should start?
Well, did you guys go through and take inventory based on the automatic points already?
No, that is your job.
Oh, well.
Dragon Master and part-time secretary Joe Perrow.
The part that was me was that I would get to do the awesome points. All right, so we'll go off memory.
Well, we'll do the best we can and then circle back over the week if we need.
Okay.
We could start. You could start with what you remember. I'm going to say this. It pains me to say it, but I think certainly that first episode, maybe both, that House Drew was having a good.
Yeah. How many points does Stark get
few
for
things.
that? That's at least a 3-pointer. Come on. What do you say?
No, you can't give.
There's never been a 3-pointer in the history of this game.
There's never been a 3-pointer in the history of this game.
I think it's a 2-pointer, though. I think 1, because she killed all those people, and 2, because of the style.
That shit was gangster, wasn't it? The speech.
I had that chalked up for 2 points.
Yes.
And now I don't necessarily. I'm not looking at the teams because I feel like that makes me biased. I'm trying to just watch the episode.
Right.
Select per character.
Well, let me ask you a question then.
Yes.
What the hell did I give you that $500 for?
No, that was a mistake. You shouldn't have done that.
Well, Gary, we're just getting started. I mean,
right.
All right.
If he sells out now, he's got to go to the highest bidder.
All right, but I took a picture of it before I gave it to you, so there's evidence.
Yes, that $500 bill.
Right.
that had Calvin Coolidge on it.
Nice.
No, it had Calvin from Calvin and Hobbes. Actually,
okay, that's not legal tender.
No.
So Arya Stark, she mass killed. So you're given 1 for style and 1 for the actual killing.
Yes. Yeah, 2 points on that one. Yeah. I'm gonna be honest. The first episode I felt was pretty light on awesome.
It was light on killing.
Not a lot of killing. The only other awesome point from the first one was really Euron's speech when he came in.
And he's not drafted. Yeah.
Nobody drafted Euron Greyjoy?
Nope.
No.
Jesus. I mean, do you guys watch the show?
Yeah, but we drafted this before the first episode aired.
Oh,
He
man.
wasn't-
And
he
there's
wasn't-
even a waiver wire set up. Well, I mean, he's the only one who gets points through 2 episodes, so we could just end the podcast now.
Well,
I guess.
no, wait a second. I'm going to make my case. I thought, because we also do sassy awesome points, and I thought when Sansa Stark said to Littlefinger, don't feel like you got a last word. We'll just assume, hey, look, you do your thing, I'm doing mine.
Get the fuck out of here with that shit.
No, she was tough, and that was hilarious when she said, we'll just pretend it was clever.
I'm sorry, awesome doesn't mean sassy.
That we gave awesome points all the time last year for commentary. If there's not dialogue awesome points,
I'm chalking
there's
that up
no
to
point.
she was in a bad
let me finish,
mood.
motherfucker. All right. If there's not dialogue, awesome
Are you
points,
trying to get an awesome point right
See
now?
what I got to listen to. See what I got to listen to every day.
Gary, you should.
I'm gonna hug you every time I see you.
Gary, you should be on my side on this because if there's no awesome points for sassy dialogue, then Tyrion Lannister's awesome points are going to go way down this year.
Nobody said there wasn't.
I just don't think
What
that
was the
qualifies.
phrase that you just used?
That wasn't sassy enough. She was just like, yeah, whatever, be
Right.
gone. Like
Well,
it
you
wasn't.
said-
It wasn't a big thing. In
All
the
right.
story.
I thought in my own mind when you said that while we were watching it that it wasn't worth the point.
Okay.
I recall thinking that.
I made a note.
I have. Listen, okay, what about this? Okay.
What?
Grey Worm wrote that speech for that guy. So.
Oh, wait, I'll tell
does
you.
he get any points?
He doesn't get for that,
Whose
but
speech?
Yeah, Grey Worm wrote that speech for that dude that no one ever heard of before. The character that you pulled out of nowhere, that no one's ever heard of. The guy that just showed up on this.
Euron?
Yeah, the
No,
first
but
time
I'll-
ever seen on the show.
okay, so let's remember that Lewis doesn't watch the show.
Right.
But Grey Worm actually does get awesome points, I think, because he got lucky.
Oh, yeah, all right. So if we're getting into...
Well, that's automatic.
Are we done with?
Yeah,
Let's
we're getting
go
into the
episode
next
by
one.
episode. Is episode one good?
Both Missandei and Grey Worm, they're each getting an awesome point.
And Missandei's not drafted, but yeah.
Yeah, Joe.
I mean, again, did we watch the show?
We
Like,
only
what's going
got
on?
we only got 5 picks.
We only got five picks
Jesus.
each. And then Lewis picked, like Qyburn and
Yeah, he
Robert
picked
Glover.
Robert Glover, which, boy, that was a shitty pick.
Wow.
Wow.
No.
So, but Grey Worm gets an awesome point for love.
Yeah, and you know what? Missandei, she was going to get a second bonus point because she went face-to-face with that botched circumcision that Grey Worm had, and she didn't flinch.
Oh,
No,
yeah.
she didn't.
I mean, she was like, I want to see you, and it wasn't like, hey, let me look at it from the other side of the room.
No.
It was like a face-first pants pull-down.
Yeah, it was, well, I mean, she's seen a lot. She's been out there, lots of wars. She's been around,
That's true.
stuff.
That's true.
What about anything, I thought for House Brent, the Hound in that first episode where he, had to go back and find the people who he had left and wound up dying probably because I forget if he took money or food or what.
Yeah, that's a debatable.
He's seeing in fire.
Awesome point. It's right on the. I was thinking about that one. It's right on the border.
I will let you.
I don't
know
remember
about
what
that.
happened.
He
What did he
buried
do?
him. That was pretty. That was.
He
pretty
buried
cool.
him. Yeah.
I mean, he was there with the traveling nice guys or whatever they're called.
Yeah.
The Brotherhood Without Banners.
Yes.
Huh.
Yes.
Well, I'll let you think about that. And then we've got
Better known as the Washington Generals.
Yara Greyjoy. Now, the first episode, not so much the second one. I don't know. She did a lot of stuff, but it included getting taken and probably killed.
Yeah, Yara definitely nothing coming for her. Jorah gets a point for having his body flayed while he's alive. I'll give him a point for just give me some rum and something to bite down on.
Body
And yes,
flaying.
you can carve all of my skin off.
Yeah.
So we're giving him one for body
Jorah,
flaying.
yeah.
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 And-
Is that the
Yeah.
grayscale dude?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and then I think the other side of it, Sam, between the two episodes, one awesome point for breaking into the Forbidden Library catacombs.
Nice.
And then number 2, then for performing the surgery.
Yeah, that was hardcore.
So that's 2 points. I don't know who has.
I gotta
Sam.
watch this episode.
Someone tell me someone drafted Sam.
No one drafted Sam.
And
Oh, my
also
God.
he gets 20 more points for all the sex he's having with his wife, girlfriend, whatever she is.
Yeah.
She's a known
Girlfriend,
character too.
Well, but she's.
Well, we
no.
haven't seen it. I gotta
Right,
have
we
eyes
haven't
on
seen
the intercourse.
Now, I will say this. I'll give you one for you, Drew. Ilaria Sand She's, I think,
badass.
Did she die? No, she didn't die.
No, she just got kidnapped.
Oh,
She didn't do shit. Her daughters did.
Oh, I was gonna say exit bonus for dying memorably, but she didn't die. Her daughters died. That's right.
She got punched in the face really hard, I think.
Yeah.
Okay.
And also, she got pretty close to having sex, but didn't
quite
go all the way.
Yeah, it was really. You could have gotten Brent and Drew could have gotten points for that, but alas. What about
as soon as she dies, I can draft one of these players Joe's telling us about. So,
all right.
I'll tell you right now. I don't know who's first on the waiver wire, but immediately go ahead and pick up Euron Greyjoy.
Yeah, right.
I can't remember if I told you guys who to pick, but I can imagine that I definitely told you to pick him.
You told us afterwards that he was on the short list of undrafted. Undrafteds. Okay, what about what about Jon Snow, Tyrion? I didn't think there was anything especially awesome.
Jon Snow,
there was that one scene where he turned a little bit to the left, and you got a really good look at his handsome profile.
He is very handsome.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's got a really crooked hairline. I don't know if anybody else is noticing that.
Yeah, that makes him hotter.
The pullback ponytail, it's like...
That's the exception that proves the rule.
It's more jagged than Cersei's bottom teeth. But
Gary likes it rugged. Likes a rugged look.
Yeah. When he goes gray, he's going to be...
Right, he's going to be the next, not George Clooney, but the other guy.
Yeah.
Rick
2
Rossovich.
points for Jon Snow.
2 points?
Yeah, point number one, he told everybody to go fuck themselves and said, I'm the king, I do what I want.
He did do that. Yes, he did.
And in not so many words. And then the second point for choking out Peter Baelish.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
In the tombs.
Yep,
he should
forgot
have been
that.
That was good. Yeah.
I dropped them.
Good chokehold. So that's it for how scary. Tyrion hasn't really done anything of note.
I
yet.
think he should get a point this season for the previous years when he talked him into keeping him alive until they got to the dwarf cock merchant. That's such a good line that I think I should get a point now.
I got a point for that last year.
I know, but that's not enough. That's a great line.
I got your point
All
right
right.
here.
Yeah,
Gary.
was that like Tom Brady getting points for touchdowns in years past? I mean, you're the fantasy expert. Does that happen in fantasy football, Gary?
No, but I don't know that.
All right.
I don't know that he's ever had a touchdown as good as that dwarf cock merchant line.
I like Joe as
just trying to keep everything copacetic.
Right.
He's taking his job serious.
You got to take your job serious. Yeah, seriously.
Is that how you use that word? I don't know.
I think so.
That sounded dead on, man.
Handsome and intelligent.
So, just Bran Stark, Peter Baelish, Brienne of Tarth, Dany. I hate to say it. I mean, she got to the.
Well, she did invade Westeros and sit on a throne of a castle that used to be occupied by somebody else. That's pretty good.
Yeah, but there wasn't really any
Yeah, she invaded an abandoned island.
Yeah, she didn't have to do anything to get there.
What about what she had to get all the boats and things?
You mean last season?
Yeah.
I think there's a little I don't know what the word is
How about Varys? He
just
stood
weight.
up.
There's weight to that.
Varys is getting a point. I'll tell you that much right now.
Yeah, he stood up to Dany.
He went eye to eye and he said, "Feed me to your dragon, you bitch."
Right.
Or
ish. That was
not.
That was the idea. And then what about Cersei? She's clearly still incredibly creepy and horrible, but
yeah, I think it's coming with her. But
I think it's going to be a big episode.
She has not really done anything big.
No. So we're not giving Dany anything, or you're not.
No, she doesn't deserve anything.
Okay, we already talked about Ilaria. What about Jaime Lannister?
Close, but no cigar on Jaime. Just
I think his time's coming.
Yeah,
I think that.
I really feel like this is going to be a big
characters
episode.
where you're going to get a wave, but I would say missing out on Sam, Missandei, and Euron.
Well,
Tormund got he's got to guard Castle Black. Just throwing that out there.
Yeah, but he's always had to do that.
Let me ask
he's
you.
a wild
I have a question.
So what?
No, you
don't get a point just for being a wild.
Okay, it's Eastwatch by the Sea.
Okay, see.
I have a question.
What?
It's a different castle.
Who's the biggest? Who's the biggest male sex symbol on this show?
Jaime Lannister.
That was my maybe.
He can't. No, he's fucking his sister. No.
Now wait.
And he only has one arm.
No, it's because Gary is wanted to be Jon Snow.
No, I'm just curious if it is.
It's Jon Snow, really.
You think it is?
Yeah.
And plus, he came back from the dead, which that has some weight.
But he didn't do anything in these 2 episodes.
I'm not vying for a point. I'm asking you who the biggest sex symbol is, and I think having come back from the dead adds to his.
Jon Snow. You're like Jesus.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, when you think sex, you think Jesus Christ because he came back from the dead.
He was very popular.
And he had some really nice abs.
He was.
Really nice abs.
Yeah, hung out with a prostitute.
Yep.
I don't know. I think Tyrion is.
All right. Maybe.
What do you got against little people?
Who else?
I am one.
Else on this was there anyone else on the show that was a real heartthrob? Maybe Robb Stark?
Come on, Tormund. Come on.
Yes, Robb Stark definitely was.
His rotting corpse is
but
not,
yes,
right.
He's decaying as we speak.
Here, I'll throw one out for you, Drew. Lyanna was kind of tough in that meeting, but I don't think that's special now.
Yeah, it was close. No. I feel like.
And we all know who the biggest female sex is. Like that's not even a question, right?
Dany Targaryen.
Definitely,
Brienne.
right?
Brienne.
Well,
I don't think we have her in anything.
It's
just
only
yet
because
either.
we haven't seen her naked yet. That's
there are certain communities that would be fond of her, but
anyway,
overall, I would say no.
Okay. So for House Brent, to summarize before we get on to our next thing, Joe, we're doing 1 point for House Brent for Jorah Mormont having his body flayed.
Mm-hmm.
For House Lewis, 1 point for Grey Worm experiencing love. Yes? Yes.
You know what? I'm going 2 points for Grey Worm for experiencing love, but like in his own unique way. Like he's never been there before, and he just knew instinctively.
Right.
They just call him Grey Worm for nothing.
Right.
Grey doesn't. Anyway. All right, so 2 for Grey Worm. I find that highly debatable, but that is a sex with a known or drafted character, and so I'm going to put that as a 1 auto point and 1
one awesome
point.
Yeah. Right.
And then,
well, he lost his virginity. I mean, that's pretty special too.
Yeah,
but that's a 2-pointer. That's a 2-pointer.
That's what I'm saying. That's the awesome part of it.
Yeah.
There's the de facto. It happened. He gets a point. And
my question is this, guys: when you guys lost your virginity, was it to a chick on a TV show?
Yeah.
No.
Yes.
No, it wasn't on to a chick on a TV show. So he should get another point for that.
You don't know my life.
I'm just saying.
All right, so 2 for. I'm not arguing. 2 for Grey Worm.
For losing virginity and the other 2 awesome points, 4 points.
No, 2.
There was no TV
He gets 2
show.
total points. I mean,
there was no show. It was just on the TV.
Yeah. Okay, for in House Gary, you're giving him 2. 1 awesome point for telling people to fuck off, and then 1 awesome point for choking Baelish. Peter Baelish. And then in my group, you're giving 1 to Varys for going eye to eye with Dany. And then in House Drew, you're giving 2 for the killing and then the style of killing, of the mass killing of the opening scene of that first episode.
Oh, hold on. Arya Stark, 3rd point.
Oh, right.
For her face-to-face showdown with her wolf. That was pretty sweet.
Oh, that was. Yep, I forgot all about
since
that.
She can warg into her wolf, I would say that the wolf is
I thought that was
by proxy.
Coolest scene in the whole show.
Well, she said, "That's not you." Yeah. All right. I think that'll do. You know what? That puts you in the lead there, Drew, with 3 points.
Yeah.
Now, I only have 1 point.
What is this, fantasy football over
And Brent
again?
only has 1 point, so the 2 of us get to choose off the waiver wire first next week, if or this week. We'll have to see what happens on the on the electronic waiver wire. All right. Any predictions for the episode coming up, Joe?
This week is going to be a little bit on the slower side, but I think we'll see something happen with the old lady Tyrell.
Okay.
And Sam's dad.
Oh yeah.
Who's kind of the grumpy old guy.
Yeah, he's true.
I think they're gonna duke it out eventually, and that's gonna fuck up Tyrion's whole plan. Jon Snow's obviously going back to Dragonstone.
That's what I'm looking forward to.
That's exciting. That's exciting. And other than that, I expect it to be a dialogue-heavy, action-light episode.
All right.
I'm
All
good
right.
with those.
Thanks, Mr. Perrow. We will talk to you next week. And tell everyone the name of your podcast where they can go into this stuff in excruciating detail.
Check me out at Working Bits, the podcast, and then the special episodes have a crazy acronym, BAJGOTAGSW, which is Brent and Joe's Game of Thrones and Gas Station Wine. podcast.
So you
not Weeby Sadibo, though.
Yeah, we're you weren't a marketing major, but that's okay. Well, but they should check
I was a finance guy, and I realized that only doing 7 podcasts in a year is not worth creating a whole separate podcast and art and hosting sites. So I just host it on the one that I pay for.
All right.
God, he's certainly bitter about it.
He is bitter about it. Golly. He's like, I'm not an artist, and I'm also not happy about not being
everyone
an artist.
is successful, dude.
It's all right.
Did you think someone with the name Dragon Master was going to be happy-go-lucky, bubbly person?
No, that's why we love him. That's why we love you, Joe.
Right.
You give us to the cold, hard reptilian soul.
What?
Now somebody go draft fucking Euron. Pick him up.
All right,
he's gonna kill more people and he's gonna die. That's a gold mine for us.
Well, I'm gonna get on the internet after this. It's because it's either me or Brent. So.
Oh, nice. Rock, paper, scissors for it. All right, see you guys.
All right, bye, Joe.
Or, you can keep your team as is.
If he'd have sex with his niece that he just captured,
what are you talking about?
he'd score all kinds of points.
Oh,
yeah, because it'd be awesome and it'd be a known character. And
yeah, I just don't. Do you think that's going to happen? I don't.
And
see
then
that
he'd kill her
happening.
afterwards. That's like 3 points.
That would be a lot of points. I'm not looking, for anyone to get hurt, but that would be a lot of points.
Unless it can benefit my score.
All right, guys, let's call our guest, comedian and writer Ryan Connor. Ryan, Gary, will you hold that?
Sure.
This is an action-packed episode that we have here.
Hello.
Hello, Ryan Connor. This is Blair Postman, and you're on the air with my Fantasy Wife podcast. How are you?
I'm doing well. How are you?
I'm doing pretty well. My voice is a little shot. It's been a long week, but we're soldiering on. Hey, let me tell you who is in the studio here with us. I remember this guy, my husband and sports stat expert, Mr. Gary Hames.
Hey, man.
Of course. Hey, Gary, how you doing?
I'm doing great. I saw you a long time ago in D.C., and I remember thinking to myself, that guy's got promise.
Right? You're a genius. And then also our social media and Hot Topics maven, comedian Drew Harrison.
Hey.
Hello, Drew.
And then rounding things out, our sound engineer, comedian, and man about town, comedian Mr. Louis Bishop.
Hey, Ryan, I remember when Gary told me about you, seeing you in D.C., and he said it fondly, so...
So I wasn't bluffing.
No, yeah. It's one of his favorite stories to tell me.
Yeah.
It's a short story.
Yeah.
Well, thanks for joining us, man. I'm gonna read a little bio that we do for the listeners.
Okay.
Ryan Connor has been doing stand-up since 2003. He finished in the top 10 of Last Comic Standing's 9th season, does stand-up comedy all over the country, has been a writer for MTV's Ridiculousness and Billy on the Street, and is host of the podcast Caligula's Grotto. Everyone, big round of applause for Ryan Connor.
Oh, man, that was a pretty full applause.
Yeah, no, we're good.
Double it or something?
Yeah, no, we just, you could choose any podcast to call into, and we want you to feel appreciated.
Yeah, I'm a pretty strong
that was
clapper.
Great. No one clapped in unison. They were nice and spread out, so it sounded full.
It did. Yeah, and Lewis is a real sound engineer with radio background, so he has the acoustics set up pretty well.
Right, those were actually clapping scenes from I Love Lucy from the 60s that we were just reusing.
Right, but he's good.
Seamless.
He's good. So, Ryan, we always ask our comedian guests not to talk about comedy, but to talk with us about what kind of sports or sports-ish. It's tough, man. I'm not used to having problem talking.
A sportious is a certain kind of utensil you use to eat quiches. It's kind of like a spork.
Okay.
Sportious.
Yes.
Yeah.
And now we're in an improv troupe warm-up.
Yes, throwing you the ball.
Right. Oh, God. No, please don't throw me the ball. It's been a while. But you gave us basketball and soccer. I got to tell you, I think our panel here is going to be a little stronger on basketball. We were just talking about that. And do you follow mostly college basketball or professional basketball?
Strictly professional.
Okay.
I a couple years ago, just to make a point, I watched a Sixers Nets game at the same time as the NCAA championship. That's how much I dislike college basketball.
No,
I'm a big football fan too. But basketball and soccer are the sports that I play.
So when you hate college basketball, I've got two guys here. Drew is a huge what do you guys?
University of National Champions.
No, okay. UNC Chapel Hill fan, and Gary is a huge Duke fan. Why do you? And I think I probably agree with you, but why do you hate college basketball?
All right. So first, let me say, if you live in North Carolina or Kentucky, I totally get why you like college basketball.
Okay.
Because that's where the great teams are, and they play close to a pro game. Especially, especially Carolina and Kentucky. Duke doesn't play like a pro style, but they're amazing every year. So I get that. That's
why they don't make the pros.
Yeah. So the reason I'm not into it, first, it's the possessions are just a lot longer. It's a lot slower. Like the possessions average almost twice as much time, and they're cutting down the shot clock for that reason. Excuse me. So yeah, I don't know. To me, it's just a lot slower, and there's such a wide gap between the most talented players and the least talented players.
Yeah.
That if you watch, for example, like a Carolina and Duke, if they play like I don't know North Carolina A&T or something, it's like playing against your little brother.
It's brutal.
It's embarrassing.
But
who's your pro team? Who's your favorite pro team?
What's that? I can hear you.
Who's your favorite pro team?
Well, I'm a Bulls fan, and right now it's not. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
It's a transition period. It's okay.
Gary looks sad.
It gives you. I like that fact that there's that disparity there because it gives you chances.
In college.
Yes, it gives chances for things to happen that you wouldn't expect. Like I remember that time that the greatest North Carolina team of all time lost in like the second round because Dan Dockich, who is a big fat guy who never played 1 second of pro ball for Indiana, is now a commentator on ESPN, guarded Michael Jordan and held him to like -7 points, and they lost the game completely unexpectedly out of nowhere.
I remember that, like when Lehigh beat Duke in the first round a few years ago.
No, that wasn't the same year because Duke won it that year.
No, I said a few years
Okay. Stop making this personal.
See what you started.
Yeah, I do like betting on the NCAA tournament.
Yes.
So I only
or
bet
anything
on the
else.
first weekend though.
It's the first weekend when it's like really a crapshoot and all things are possible.
Yeah. I try to bet on every game the first weekend.
So why are you a Bulls fan?
Well, I lived in Southern Virginia when I was a little kid.
Which part?
Bulls territory?
Hotbed of Chicago, yes.
I'm sorry, say again?
Yeah, exactly. It's a lot of Chicago transplants. No, what it was like everyone was a college sports fan there. And I wasn't into college sports. Neither, was my sole brother of the time. Now I have a lot of brothers.
You do, yes.
Yeah. So, I was, I guess I was like 4, and I would watch, football all day on Sundays, and I just started liking the Bears because I don't know. I mean, they were the best team, obviously, and I was a little kid. And also, I just liked watching Walter Payton, and I wanted to be a running back. I used to wear a Walter Payton uniform.
Oh, nice.
Like, to the grocery store with my parents, pads and everything.
Yeah.
Nice.
Did you have a headband?
I had a Mark Rippon.
Mark Rippon? Really? Yeah. It's probably the same thing. Those,
yeah.
Was it...
they come in the box.
Yeah. Touch? I can't remember who makes it, but yeah.
Was it like an ensemble? Like
yeah,
put together
you
for
got the shirt, the jersey, and the pants, and then the helmet.
Oh,
it was
nice.
a plastic helmet with padding in it.
Nice.
Yeah, it was amazing. And then my brother had Joe Montana, and then he ended up playing middle school football. And then I would show up when they would do like pickup games in the park, the people on the team during the summer, and I would show up in my Walter Payton uniform.
Yeah, nice.
And they took it easy on me because like I guess I probably could have got killed wearing that because it's not a real helmet.
You feel invincible wearing it though. You're like, I can do anything.
Yeah, that's not.
Yeah.
What's the brain disease that they're all suffering
CTE.
from? Yeah, that's not going to help you stay away from CTE probably.
No, because it was more or less a thick hat.
So did they call you Sweetness?
I don't remember if they did, but I wanted them to.
You know what? We're going to call you Sweetness for the rest of this episode.
I love it.
All right,
I love it.
Sweetness,
but then
Connor.
It was the same thing. It was Brent was a Lakers fan, and there was like the game of the week on CBS was Bulls against Lakers. Jordan was a rookie, and by default, I was like, oh man, this guy can jump over everyone.
Right.
And then I just became a complete fanatic where, to the point where I mean, I know pretty much everything about Michael Jordan.
Did you know that he is from Wilmington, North Carolina?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Of course.
Have you been to when you came to town? To perform? Did you go and see the museum exhibit or whatever it is?
I didn't know there was a museum.
Oh,
there's a museum?
There's a part of the Cape Fear Museum is dedicated to him.
Shut the fuck up. I had no idea.
You didn't go to the Air Jordan Emporium?
Did you miss the Air Jordan Emporium and souvenir shop?
You didn't go there?
I had no idea. Here's all I knew. I knew that they changed the name of the gym at Laney High to, Michael Jordan Gymnasium. And then, obviously, I know creepy people go look at his parents' old house. Yeah. But I wasn't trying to be one of those people.
Right. Well, we are going to have to come back to Dead Crow Comedy Club and just so you can go to the museum exhibit.
Hey, when you saw him play that rookie year and all those points he scored and how incredible he was in that game you were talking about, like, it's hard to believe he couldn't average 20 for Carolina, isn't it?
It's because Dean kept him under. That's the only man to ever keep Jordan under 20 points.
Well, I guess Duke just held him so low that the other good games couldn't pull the average back up.
Duke wasn't even a good team.
You know what?
What?
Exactly. Okay.
Did you just pull what that's what on me?
Yes, I did.
Wow.
My throat really hurts.
I'm the third grade joke teller around here. You know, watch it. You're stepping in my territory.
Doug Collins? I'm trying to think. Who said that Dean Smith's the only person to hold Jordan under 20 points?
Anybody with a brain, I think. Obviously.
I think Drew said that.
Yeah, Drew Harrison.
Okay, all right.
No, I don't know. I don't know who originally said that. It's a very famous.
Yeah.
It's no, the roof is the ceiling, but it's not bad.
See, the conceit on this show, as you know, Ryan, because you listen to every episode, but the conceit on this show is that I don't really know about sports, but my husband plays 800 fantasy leagues, so I figured this would give me a way to learn. So I thought that was just something that Drew said.
It is something.
Gary,
Drew said.
have you ever played fantasy soccer?
No, I've never played fantasy soccer.
Do you do the Champions League or MLS?
No, it's Premier League.
Oh, okay.
I would totally do that. I would totally do that.
Dude, it's absurd. So I'm a soccer fanatic. I play it weekly. I'm a fantasy fanatic, and I played one season of fantasy soccer, and after 2 weeks, I just said, look, just tell me who to send the money to. I don't understand this. It's like...
We could get a whole group of because I have to tell you, there's a certain generation and geography of the comics we have on here that are tell us soccer, right? And Drew knows a bit, but I used to go to the Cosmos games. We had Cosmos season tickets in the 70s, and early 80s. Yeah,
that's awesome.
I know, but we're not as up on that. As say football, basketball.
I was on a travel soccer team named the Cosmos.
My brother, but between Joe Perrow, who's out of Raleigh and is our Dragon Master for our Game of Thrones fantasy league, who we just talked to, and you guys, and there's some other people we've had on comics who have had a soccer league. We could get together a soccer fantasy league for my fantasy wife.
I'm telling you, it's not worth it. Don't do fantasy soccer.
No,
you can pick winners, but so here's how it works. So you get a certain number of points for a goal based on the position the player plays.
Oh, Jesus.
And a certain number of points for an assist based on the position they play. Like it's weighted based on position.
Oh, no.
And then you get a certain number of points for a shutout or goals allowed, and it's weighted by position too.
Oh, God.
No, thank you.
So much to keep track with, and it's salary based.
Nope.
So you're creating a new team every week.
Wow.
It is.
Yeah, that's a lot of work.
Man, you just got to go through Yahoo. They just keep track of goals and assists, and that's it.
I thought XFL fantasy football was tedious. That's my favorite. That's my favorite moment of all my fantasy football. XFL fantasy football. They threw the league together. ESPN put a fantasy thing out, and they didn't think about it. And there were 8 teams, and there was no restrictions on what you could pick. So I picked 4 kickers, and then I held them for ransom.
Yes, I know.
Half the teams didn't have kickers. Yeah.
Yes, I know. That's one of Gary's favorite fantasy story moments.
Dude, there's a guy in my league who's tried that twice, and this isn't a regular 10-team, standard rule fantasy league where he's tried to hold kickers and defenses ransom, and everyone's just like, "Well, fuck you, dude. We don't need them."
Yeah, you don't, because there's 32 teams. A kicker, the worst kicker in the league, is likely to turn out to be next year's best fantasy thing for no explicable reason. So that doesn't do any good.
Yeah.
So you're a football fan too, and you're still with the Bears. You grew up sort of in Redskins country, I guess.
Oh yeah,
Roanoke.
But so in Roanoke, people were more into Virginia Tech and the Cowboys. Which I don't understand the whole Cowboys thing. But
well, it's because that's the best team.
Well, Gary's a Cowboys fan,
so.
and that's because when Gary was growing up in the 70s and there was no cable or anything, they were just on every single week.
That's exactly why all those people in Roanoke liked them.
Or they're Steelers fans,
team.
One of the two of that generation.
Yeah, that makes sense. And I just couldn't get into them, and the Skins didn't feel like a home team. For that reason, it's not like we had all their games,
right?
And the Wizards weren't a home team. For NBA, we would just get the national games.
Yeah.
And then it's not like we were equidistant from Charlotte to DC, but then Charlotte didn't even have their teams when I was a little kid. So,
right.
Yeah.
Just defaulted to Chicago.
Yeah, this whole section of the country was Redskins fans. There wasn't anybody else. You had to go to Atlanta before you got the next closest team.
So, do you have any opinions on anything that's going on in the NBA draft? Not the draft, excuse me. We're in the free agent time
with free agency
and trading and things.
Well, there's a lot right now. The Bulls obviously just make disastrous move after disastrous move, and I think their front office is just trying to save themselves by kind of creating a new mess and then claiming that they're fixing something when in reality it just buys them time to clean up their mess. But I think they've made nothing but bad personnel moves for 3 years now.
I would agree with that.
Are you not a huge fan of Zach LaVine being the face of the franchise now?
Zach LaVine is a basketball. I thought he was like a young pop singer.
No, that's
a basketball player.
That's Adam Levine.
Who is that?
Oh,
Zach LaVine's the dunk champion.
Okay. Oh, okay. Yeah, I do know him.
Oh, you're combining Adam Levine and Zach Braff, I think.
Maybe.
I don't know.
What a good basketball player that would be.
Right.
I don't know, man. Right now, it's like Kyrie Irving. He's not a free agent, but that's the big question.
That would be
mark.
huge.
Yeah, we were talking.
I hear he's going to Golden State.
Oh gosh, and basketball will be over.
Yeah.
Then they have nobody on the bench. Those guys just have to play the whole game.
Yeah,
because they can't afford anybody else.
Yeah, pretty much. The word is he wants to go to the Knicks, and that's insane.
Yeah, I hear they got to give up Porzingis to get him though, so I don't know if that's going to happen.
That's not going to happen.
Oh yeah. That's like that's never going to happen.
Is he the new young phenom that they drafted, even though he wasn't available
well,
yet?
phenom, except that nobody thought he was any good, and
Knicks
then
fans were so mad.
And then once it turned out that he's the best player that's played there in 10 years, what's his face immediately tried to trade him away for a sack of handkerchiefs.
Boston almost got him for nothing.
Wow.
I don't get it.
Hey.
Yeah. Phil Jackson was kind of a mixed bag in New York because he obviously made some bad decisions, but he drafted exceptionally well.
Yes, right. That was a tremendous...
But then he drafted Hardaway, traded him away, and then overpaid to get him back.
No, Phil didn't overpay to get him back.
No, that was a new guy.
That was a new guy?
Was the new guy, yeah.
That was a new guy, yeah. Yeah, and then he also got Hernan Gomez, who is looking like a steal.
Who's that white, shaggy-haired point guard that's going to be the starting guard this year? What's his name? Baker? Is it Ron Baker? Yeah.
Ron Baker.
That was a good late round pickup.
Yeah, he looks like he works at PacSun on the weekends.
Yeah.
Ron Baker. Right. Next year they're going to take Bob Butcher and Carl Candlestick Maker, and we'll have the whole trio.
Yeah. Right. Nice. Hey, so Ryan, we always play a game with our comedian guests. Usually it's based on the sports or similar that they've told us they're interested in. We went a little different way with yours.
All right.
We're going to play famous sports or pop culture figures whose names are Connor, Connors, or O'Connor.
Okay.
Excluding Irish, UK, and Australian soccer, rugby, or cricket players, because there's 10 million of those.
Okay.
And so we've got 10 of these. We're going to ask you to go around and ask you to guess the name of this Connors, or O'Connor, and see how you do. If you do really well, you get nothing. There's no prize.
Okay.
If you do really poorly, we make fun of you after we're off the air.
Oh, fantastic!
Yeah.
Who was the dude that got all the questions right?
I can't remember. Was it Pranav?
We just had somebody get like every question right.
I think it was Pranav Prahari. Maybe. I met.
So did he guess all the Pranavs?
Yeah, he did.
No,
Yeah, all the Pranavs.
All the Pranavs, and there are a lot of them.
What, in India?
Yeah, but no, we do it something different every week. It just varies. Last year when we had Rory on, we did quotes were the quotes from Trump, Sepp Blatter, or a fictional movie villain. So
I like it.
Yeah, it's just different every time. But you heard that episode because you listen. All right, we're gonna start. Gary, why don't you start us off with number one?
Okay, Blair, I'll do that. Number one,
go ahead. What's that, Ryan?
So I just to make sure I understand. So you describe the person,
yes,
and then it's like Jeopardy style.
Yeah,
the category is Connor.
Yes, please phrase your term in who is.
Right.
We Blair likes to start these out with a couple of softballs too, so you'll get the gist of it quickly. Number one is this Connors O'Connor is an Irish mixed martial artist who competes in the featherweight division of the Ultimate Fighting Championship. He is the former Cage Warriors featherweight and lightweight champion.
What is Conor McGregor?
Yes, ding, 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 ding. All right, Drew, why don't you ask number two there?
All right. This Connors O'Connor is a retired American world #1 tennis player, often considered among the greatest in history of the sport.
Careful in the next line.
It's not Jack Sock, by the way.
Where is Jimmy Connors?
Yes,
Yay.
ding, 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 ding. Lewis, are you in a place where you can ask? You want me to go?
I'm not in a good place right now.
Okay, he's not in a good place
I'm very
right now.
depressed.
Oh, I'm sorry. Well, just as long as you're working on the sound while
Yes.
you're depressed. Okay, number three. This Connors O'Connor is a retired Associate Justice of the Supreme Court of the United States, serving her appointment in 1981. Was appointed in 1981 by Ronald Reagan. And served until 2006. She was the first woman to serve as Justice of the Supreme Court.
What is Sandra Day O'Connor?
Oh, ding, 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 ding. Nice.
Killing it.
You're crushing it. All right, go ahead, Gary.
We're still in the softball territory.
We'll see.
Oh, we're in fast pitch now.
I always told you how Ryan Connor looked intelligent.
You know what?
I did always say that.
You are the worst suck-up of all time.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Okay, this Connors O'Connor was an American actor, writer, and professional basketball and baseball player. He is one of only 12 athletes in the history of American professional sports to have played both Major League Baseball and in the NBA. With a 40-year film and television career, he's best known for his 5-year role as Lucas McCain in the highly rated ABC series The Rifleman from 1958 to 63. Armed with nothing more than his Winchester and huge nuts, no one could ever outrun the long dong.
How did you get that wrong in the first? I thought you were raring up for that one.
Yeah.
I don't know.
And his name is Connor?
Uh-oh.
It's I'll give you this. His last name is Connors with an S.
Oh.
I always told you Ryan didn't sound like a very
I don't
intelligent
know.
person.
The only person I know of who played in the NBA and Major League Baseball was Danny Ainge.
Which inherently...
Well, there's a few more,
ball
but
player.
this guy's older than that.
Yeah.
Playing in the NBA wasn't as big an accomplishment back in the day.
I don't know.
He's
I
kind
don't
of
know.
down on.
All right.
Should I just guess?
Just a name.
And then I don't know
First
if
name.
first name. Well, no, first name Connor. I don't think started back
Yeah.
then. Or
No,
at least
no,
wasn't
it's
common then. So
last-
the last name's going to be Connor or Connors, and then it's not going to be John because that's Terminator, and they wouldn't have used that name in the Terminator if it was already a famous actor.
Right.
And then we've got could be James. It could be Charles.
Ooh, Charles. Ooh, you're getting warm with
Stop!
Charles.
You're just going to tell him, then just tell him.
Okay.
Oh, I have no idea. Well, I'm just going to say Charles Connor.
Oh, so close. Chuck Connors. Connors.
His name probably could have been Charles.
Might have been Charles.
No, if you look it up, he has a ridiculous long name, and Chuck is a weird nickname.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, well, I was close. I was close.
So close. You're still doing
Someone
great.
I've never heard of.
You're still doing great, kid. All right. Go ahead, Drew. This is a tough one.
All right. This Connors O'Connor is an American competition swimmer and Olympic gold medalist. He competes in freestyle and medley events and won a gold medal as a member of the winning U.S. 4x200 meter freestyle relay team at the 2012 Summer Olympics.
I know this.
Shoot, give me Connor.
Sound it out.
I know this.
Keep going.
I really like watching swimming's like the only thing or swimming and track and basketball are the only thing I watch.
You'll do swimming fantasy?
Connor
Go ahead.
You're there.
I know. I can feel it.
Lewis, give him a rhyming hint.
Just relax.
Just relax. Hang on.
Doyle? Connor Doyle?
Oh.
No. Oh, it's close. I know I'm close.
You're right on it, baby. Keep going.
Buyer beware.
I gotta think through the alphabet in my head.
I thought you just said it, didn't you?
I don't know.
Yes. No.
You know,
Doyle. It's
what was
not
the
Doyle.
name? What was the name of that show that was set in Baltimore with all the police people?
Oh, The Wire. Connor Dwyer. Connor
Yay! Ding, 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 ding.
Thank you.
I'm exhausted.
Wow, that was.
But we're only halfway through. That was
powerful.
That was powerful. I'm exhausted. I feel like we all just went through something together. I'll read you number 6. This Connors O'Connor emerged in the 90s with a powerful voice and a big hit, Nothing Compares to You, along with a fair share of controversy.
Oh, yeah. Oh, what is Sinead O'Connor?
Yes. Ding, 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 ding. All right, Gary.
I keep saying Connors O'Connor. When I grew up in Richmond, there was a really nasty law firm called Allen, and Allen. And this kind of reminds me of that.
Yeah.
Connor O'Connor.
That's hilarious.
Good
Four
times.
Allens?
5 Allens.
5 Allens.
Yeah, and they were all the ambulance chasing, lawyers, all
Right.
with one last name.
That's hilarious.
Yeah. I'm convinced they were completely unrelated, and they just took that because alphabetically it would be first in the
In the phone book. When people use phone books.
But they were a big deal. Okay.
Number 7.
Number 7. This Connors O'Connor is an American yachtsman known as Mr. America's Cup. He is noted for winning the bronze medal at the 76 Olympics, 2 Star World Championships, and 4 wins in the America's Cup.
Ooh, I have no idea. So this is the yacht competition they have every summer. Or every couple summers?
Yes. I think it's like the Olympics. I think it's every so many years.
I think
don't
it's like every 4 years or
yeah.
something.
Really?
Yeah, I think.
How far do they go?
Oh, God. I don't know.
You don't have to answer
Who's
that.
being quizzed here?
We're going to have to
I wonder
fact
if
check
it's-
that
is
for
it-
next week.
Is it like a crew type of thing where you're doing like a 2-mile sprint, or are they going from like?
I feel like it's several days
No,
long.
it's a longer than that.
It's days.
It's
okay.
a longer than that. Yes.
Right.
Well, I definitely have no idea who this person is.
Go ahead, Gary. Go ahead.
World famous yachtsman Dennis Connor.
Dennis Connor.
Dennis Connor.
Eh. But I will tell you, I am still impressed with the Connor Dwyer thing, even though you got a rhyming hint. I'm still pretty impressed with that. All right, go ahead, Mr. Drew Harrison, number 8.
This Connors O'Connor is the mother of the resistance, responsible for raising John and teaching him in the ways of war. She was born and raised in Los Angeles, California.
That would be Sarah Connor.
Yes! Right. Ding, 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 ding,
You get a bonus
ding,
point.
I can't remember if she spells it with an ER. I think it is with an ER, right?
It's OR. It's
It
OR.
is OR?
Yeah,
Okay.
I looked.
Well, you could find out because he rips the phone book page out and there's a shot of it, so you could.
I looked it
And
up.
there's a shot of Allen, and Allen.
Right.
Yeah.
Right in the
He's
beginning.
looking at yeah.
They have now online like fake bios for all like important
gotcha.
pop culture characters. So
Online, that's that computer thing, right? Online.
Yeah,
I'll have to try
I
that
don't
one
think
day.
the world of nerds would have gotten that wrong on Wikipedia.
No, probably not.
All right, so yes, Sarah Connor, great. I'm going to give you number 9 here. This Connors O'Connor is a retired American Olympic gymnast. As a member of the men's gymnastics team in 1984 Summer Olympic Games, in which he won 2 gold medals. He currently owns and operates the gymnastics academy with his wife, Romanian Olympic gold medalist Nadia Comaneci. Who is that Connors O'Connor?
Oh wow, I don't know this.
He looks like a pixie. He's a little man.
Yeah.
I think he made a bad action movie too.
Possible.
Connor. Yeah, I don't think I know who this is.
It is Bart Connor.
Oh, that's almost the same name as another Connor I was expecting, which is Connor Barth. It's just the
Yes.
just got the
Yeah,
name
we
flipped.
looked at him, but we thought you might be keyed into that, so we didn't do it.
that is assuming a level of thought that may not have
Connor
gone
Barth,
into
the
this.
kicker from the great University of North
Wasn't
Carolina.
there a John Connor on the Cowboys too?
It's a fairly common.
There's a John Connor on the Steelers now.
Or he's a Steelers.
You guys-
I think he was a Cowboys.
You
draft
guys
pick. I could be
Google
wrong.
Connor athlete and then
Yeah,
see what you have to
see.
choose from.
Right.
And then you don't know anything about any of them, and then you have to pick.
Right.
So, all right. This is our final one, and I didn't put the name here, but I wrote it here, Gary,
Yes,
but
I
you know
guess.
it anyway.
Yes, I do.
Okay.
Okay, number 10. This Connors O'Connor is an arrogant Pittsburgh TV weatherman who, during an assignment covering the annual Groundhog Day event in Punxsutawney, Pennsylvania, find himself caught in a time loop repeating the same day again and again.
Oh God.
Think of the scene where he sees the insurance agent.
Yes, that's the.
Yep.
that's
Yeah,
the
I
scene to
know.
remember.
Oh God.
Talk it out.
At first, when you said a Pittsburgh news person, I was like, how in the fuck am I supposed to know this?
Yeah, right.
It's not real.
Oh, jeez.
It's a fake person.
Yes.
Yeah, I know.
It's from a
I know,
movie,
and I-
a talkie.
I know, but I can't remember the name.
Oh, I don't think that's okay.
No, I don't either.
I think we have to wait here until he figures it out.
I just
I don't
wanna-
know how I feel about that.
I know.
I want to say
Phil.
the
It's
answer in
Phil.
the
It's
voice.
Phil. Is
Phil-
it Phil?
Phil?
Phil Connor.
Phil Connor?
Ding, ding,
Yeah,
ding,
that's
ding. Well, you did remarkably well, Ryan. You got 8 out of 10 of our O'Connor challenge.
I thought I got 7.
No, because you got the Dwyer one.
I think I missed 3.
Okay, 7 it is. No
you
problem.
missed the American.
No problem.
You missed
Is
the
honest too? What?
No, you missed the America's Cup and you missed the
Handsome, smart, and
Chuck
honest.
Connors. The other
No, I missed one more, and I missed the gymnast.
Oh, right.
Oh, wow.
I wish I could give points for honesty.
Lawyer's not doing a lot of math, huh?
You just beat her at her own game.
Yeah.
Well, she can't really do math on account of she's a girl.
Oh, my God. And that's when...
This is for you to learn both.
And that's when they recorded Gary being murdered on the podcast. Well, Ryan...
It was a long time coming.
It was. In fairness, yes. It's built up to this. I think people, if they listen to every episode, might let me go with, time served or something. All right, guys. Well, Ryan, we had a really lovely time speaking to you, and we can't wait till you come back to Wilmington so you can visit the Michael Jordan, Emporium.
There's a lot of
and snack bar.
There's a lot of fun, and I will go there every single day.
All right, man.
Cool.
Well, we'll talk to you soon. What do you have going on? Anything you want to tell the people? Anything going on? Any shows or albums?
Well, I would say I have an album that you can get on my website or iTunes and Spotify if you want to get it for free.
Okay.
Also, check out my podcast. It's called Caligula's Grotto, and it's fun, and that's about it. It's fun and it's
a lot of TV
weird.
and pop culture-y things.
Yeah.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah.
All right, man.
I'm going to do that.
All right, thanks so much, Ryan. We'll talk to you soon.
Oh, thank you so much for having me.
All right.
Have a nice day.
Bye-bye.
Bye. I remember that guy.
Yeah, lovely. All right, folks, that's going to wrap us up for this week. Download all our episodes and see everything that we do at iTunes, Stitcher, and YouTube. Thank you, Mr. Bishop, for taking us out with the jazz trumpet stylings of Mr. Al Hurt.